welcome to this episode of Trish Rock TV, An Energy Shift. Changing energy, shifting perceptions. Our special guest this week and live with me today is the delightful and energetic Barb. Aromatherapy and Raindrop Technique Professional, Barb has been researching and working with essential oils for more than 15 years. Barb is a qualified ISHA clinical aromatherapist. We'll be talking a little bit about what that is, and one of the few practicing Raindrop Technique professionals in regional South East Queensland. In addition to sharing knowledge and experience of the benefits of using pure essential oils for everyday living, Barb also teaches relaxation techniques and assists with Heartworks Lomi Lomi relaxation massage training. Her latest training has taken her on a more energetic pathway, becoming qualified as a practitioner and facilitator of the Access Consciousness bars technique. This hands-on technique works on gentle hand holds on the head, which aids in deep relaxation and the letting go of strongly held points of view and beliefs that were implanted long ago. After experiencing postnatal health challenges and facing lifelong medication, Barb began investigating these natural alternatives, which has led her to this path she's now on, and her health is now stable and medication-free. Barb is dedicated to using her skills to help you find your natural balance and teaching you to focus on proactive self-care. It's my great honour and pleasure to introduce Barb to the show. Yay!
Oh, hi Trish.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And for everybody listening, this is my first live one.
Yes.
Kind of in-person interview.
Trust me to do that for us, Trish. Yes, I'll just come on over and we'll have a chat.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Barb, let's get started with how all this started with you, for you. Obviously you had some health issues and, life led you to this natural therapy.
Life indeed has led me on this path, Trish. When my daughter was born 20 years ago now, I didn't know that much about body and health issues. I was living a fairly natural life, or so I thought. And anyway, my thyroid went on holidays after childbirth, which some people actually knew about, but the practitioners I worked with didn't. So I was a mess for quite a few years. And luckily I just persisted and persisted. I was diagnosed with depression, which is actually a side effect of thyroid issues, if the thyroid issue isn't treated. And eventually I just knew that it wasn't right, and they found out that my thyroid was extremely low and very low functioning. And sitting in the doctor's office, he said, "Oh, well, here you are, take this tablet for the rest of your life, you'll be right now." To which I said, "Well, is there anything else I can do? Can I, work on nutrition or dietary issues?" And he said, "Oh, maybe." And I walked out feeling completely let down, but eventually learning to take my own advice and seek alternatives. So through naturopathic care and my own seeking, which led me to essential oils and essential oil-based nutrition with the help of a naturopath. So I did use professionals. I moved off the medication and haven't been back on it since. And I still use medical professionals and monitor my thyroid issues, but it's a lack of knowledge that we all have about our own bodies that then has led me on this journey. I thought to myself all those years ago, I'm a fairly intelligent person, so if I didn't know this stuff, how many other people don't know about these things and about these alternatives? And we weren't really taught as children that, your self-care should be your primary focus.
Absolutely.
And so that's really what I'm wanting to help people learn.
And it's not the information you get from doctors either, although it is changing. I have to say that there are a lot of medical professionals out there who will see what your body's lacking rather than just throw a tablet at you. But it was the same thing for me when, you know, after my first I was in my first marriage and my first child, and I just didn't want to be married anymore. But you know, everyone was just trying to shove antidepressants at me. Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
no, I'm just not happy.
Yes.
I don't need to be drugged. I'm just not happy.
Yes.
But having said that, there are people who get to a certain level of depression who do need something to support them. But on an ongoing basis, it's connection, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And even with thyroid, that is something going on in your body that you can shift.
That's right, yeah.
And not just Band-Aid.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, ultimately, it's simple but not easy, but it is about choices that we make.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also choices that we have made that we actually don't think we have the power to change.
Yeah.
We are allowed to change our minds. It's one of the biggest things I've learnt this year. I've always been one, and I did it just this weekend.
Yeah.
Went and finished a course that I'd started that I really thought may not have benefited me. I do know that the connections I made in the course will be of benefit to me, but the course itself I'm still not sure, but I'm the sort of person that honours commitments, and so I finished the course. And yet I do know that I have the ability to change my mind, and if I didn't, I could have chosen to not go.
And I think that's an underlying belief for a lot of people too, especially our generation. And you got brought up to, you know, make your mind up and then that's it forever.
Yes, honour your commitments. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
But if your commitments are not in alignment with you, and we're all changing at such a rapid energetic rate that, of course, our alignment is going to shift, which means we then want to be pursuing different things and being a different person.
Yes, yes.
So with the oils, I understand the power of the oils and the smell and that sensing of those oils to change with things within us. But how powerful were they for you in changing your health around? And
oh, well, it's interesting because I used the oils. I was just instinctively drawn to them. I'd been playing with essential oils for many years. I had my own herb garden. I naturally grew the herbs that I loved and needed without understanding that.
Interesting. You just trusted your instincts on that.
Well, just, I guess I did trust it. I didn't even know that I was trusting my instincts on that. And so when I smelt these essential oils, there was just a knowing.
Yeah.
And when something that's pure and has its own energy, frequency, vibration, that's it, is in alignment, you just have a knowing. Yeah. And so you go along with that. So, yes, I use the essential oils in all sorts of ways, diffusion, breathing them in, on my body, massaging, mixing with drinks and things to support my body internally, and taking supplements with essential oils in as well. And they made a huge difference to my life.
Okay. Yeah. And so and that's all part of the energy work that that you do in the other modalities you have as well. So how would you describe energy work?
Really, when I was thinking about this question, we all do energy work. We all
Sorry about the bike.
We all do energy work without even realising it, because it was brought to my attention again yesterday that as our heart beats, it has its own frequency, and it actually puts out a frequency on an energetic level. And you can find out more about that with the Heart Math Institute.
Yes.
So the minute we walk into a room or into someone's space, energetically, we are affecting that person.
And they're affecting us.
And they're affecting us in what we might describe as positive or negative ways. We then have the power of choice. So we have the power of choice to say, oh, that's an interesting energy, rather than, I don't want to get to know that person, but by asking a question.
Yes.
And so then by asking a question, we can change the energy for ourselves, the energy for that person, and therefore the energy in the space. And so that's a really great way for people to, you know, mind their own energy, I guess, out in public. So with actual energy work, you help to shift certain energies that are going on in people, like old beliefs is an energy, and
old ways of thinking, that kind of thing. So.
Yes, indeed. Their body and their consciousness needs to be ready to do that.
Yes.
And they're really, honestly, they're not there with you unless that's already been answered. Because as a practitioner, as you know, you really don't attract the clients that you don't need.
Yeah. So you get the ones that are ready mostly.
The clients will choose you and come to you by various means. And I've had some very interesting people who I never would have thought would be my clients that were referred to me, you know, by a second or a third party.
Yeah.
And they've left going, wow, I can't believe how I got here, how I've, you know, come to this point.
Yeah. So with the Raindrop Technique massage and also the Lomi Lomi, I've had one of those. They're just divine. They really are relaxation, but they also are energy. They move the energy around the system. So for anybody who understands acupuncture, there's always points in your system and in your body and in your also in your etheric body that bring energy in. They're either blocked or they're open, and you've got beautiful channels flowing, or you don't. And if you don't have an energy flowing to a certain point, is when that could be painful in the body, or when it could be blocking energy, emotions, which then show up in the body as well. Yes. So your work with the Raindrop Technique and also the Lomi Lomi, does that help, as well as relax, that helps to open up energy channels?
It absolutely can. Yeah. If we just focus on one then the other. So the Heartworks Lomi Lomi is focused very deeply on the practitioner connecting with the heart space of the person on the table. Yeah. And as we physically are moving through the massage of the body, we're moving the lymphatic system, we're moving all of the blood flow and everything, but we're also moving through the energetic field of the body. Yeah. And we're helping that person really to connect back with themselves on that deeper level. Yep.
Okay. And what about the Raindrop Technique?
Raindrop Technique works on the, well, like all of them, physical, spiritual, emotional. So essential oils, by their very nature and by the nature of the body's olfactory system, which is actually located just in here behind the top of the nose, is linked directly to the limbic system, which contains the memories and emotions. So just by smelling an essential oil, it has the power to unlock a memory or an emotion, either negative or positive, depending on the person, if they're receptive to receive and let that go, or be willing to address what's come up, or to support somebody. So if they're not feeling emotionally on top of the world, smelling an essential oil that they like can actually lift them vibrationally. So the Raindrop Technique is designed based on quite a few elements. It's designed by Gary Young, who's now passed away very sadly. And we apply oils to the feet in a VitaFlex technique, so it's actually energetic. So as our fingers move over the pulse points along the spinal reflex of the foot, we're actually working on the energetic level. So we're firing and releasing on these electrical points. So we're working with the electrical energy of the body by doing that. And so by the time we've applied 7 oils to the feet, our client's pretty much in a very deep state of relaxation. And we then apply the oils to the spine in drops. So we're actually dripping the oils through the energy field around the body. Preparing the body to receive the oil. And then as we feather up the spine, we're energetically bringing energy up into the body along the spine, and then out, feathering out through all of the nervous cells, all the nerve receptor points from the spinal cord out through the body.
So that's really getting the energies in alignment. Opening up chakras and getting everything in line.
Without even specifying that or teaching that, it is what it is doing. Yes.
Awesome. How amazing. And it just sounds so relaxing.
Oh, it's an amazing technique to give. Nothing makes me happier than doing one or more raindrops on a daily basis.
I have to come and have one. I haven't had one
absolutely.
yet.
Yes.
I have had a Lomi Lomi. They're amazing as well.
Yes. Yes.
So the new modality that you've been learning this year is bars, access consciousness. And I've done a little bit of work with bars too, and it's incredible. And once again, that works on an energetic field,
very much
in
so.
and out.
Yes.
So explain to everyone listening what access consciousness is, because there'll be people who don't know or heard of it, and what the bars energy.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Well, access consciousness was developed by a man called Gary Douglas about 20 years ago, and about 18 years ago he was joined by Dr. Dane here. So they pretty much are the founders of access consciousness. So in access consciousness, the what we generally say is that it allows for everything and judges nothing. Yeah. So simple, but not easy. It takes practice to be in allowance, to receive everything and to judge nothing.
Yes.
So one of the first courses that you can learn in access bars, or one of the first things you can receive, is access bars. What are the bars? So the bars are sets of points on the head, 2 on the hands and feet in different patterns that we just very gently hold. And by holding them, it releases energy in which we've stored points of view for many, many lifetimes.
Yes. Yeah.
And once we let go of these points of view, our own point of view changes. We find that we have an energetic shift, literally. We allow ourselves then to become more open, to make different choices, to feel confident to make choices we may never have made before, and to live in the question all the time. Because in access consciousness we say that an answer is a limitation, which is a judgment, and being in the question and not trying to answer the question, but just being in the question, like, how does it get any better than that? So we find $10 on the street and go, wow, how's it get any better than that? The universe hears and goes, oh, you want better. And so then starts the energy flow of how does it get any better than that?
Yeah.
When something negative happens and you just don't know where else to go, right, how does it get any better than this? What is this? What can I do? Can I fix it? What else can I do? Are there other questions I can ask? And then just wait for the awareness.
Yeah.
And sometimes you will be taken on a left turn or a right turn. Nothing's ever straight ahead.
And it's just a nice kind of practice to realign your thinking on a daily basis, isn't it? To get out of those limitations of our mind. And it really is, and this is what I teach as well, it really is about asking better questions.
It is about asking better questions.
Asking better questions. And so access consciousness has these questions and different ways of doing that. With the bars work, people can clear things out of their beliefs, out of their thinking. Sometimes really deep old beliefs they don't even know they have.
Absolutely.
They just clear.
Yes.
And
they just clear.
Yes.
What I love so much about the bars is you don't have to talk about anything. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to remember bad things that have happened to you. You just, the energy does the work.
Yes.
You just be in allowance, and it's teaching us to receive. And one of the biggest things, particularly I think our generation, but even our younger ones, if we're not teaching them the right path, is we're not good receivers.
No.
And the bars is teaching us how to receive. For me, even to ask for help, it still is very difficult for me to ask for help. And that's just beliefs and limitations that were taught to me from childhood and before. And yes, the bars teaches us how to be better receivers.
It's interesting. And with all of these modalities that you've learned, it really is about trusting the body too, because if you trust the body and give it what it wants or what it needs, it will actually perform at very high standards.
And it's interesting you should bring that up, because I was just listening to a YouTube by Dr. Dane here, which is free and anybody can listen to, and they are just so much fun.
They are actually,
yes.
yeah. So I'll have the link here
we
for
will.
you to
We'll
to click on that. Go and check out Dr. Dane.
Yes. And so saying, you are the being, and your being inhabits this body.
Yeah.
So when was the last time you said to your body, hey body, what would you like to wear today? Hey body, what do you want to eat now? Hey body, is this food regime I've got you on, is it really working for you?
Mm.
And it's weird, but your body will answer you. And your body will say, oh, I really want to wear that today. Even though you mightn't have worn it for 3 years. And then you go out and you get a multitude of compliments.
Yeah.
Body knows.
Because the only reason you wouldn't be, in that particular case, not wearing it is all the self-judgment you've got about it, or what
indeed.
you think other people are going to judge you on.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. And one of the most freeing things about the bars for me has been learning to let go of judgments of self, and to start being kind to myself, to be a kindness to myself.
Yeah.
And it started this new language with me.
Yeah.
About when I hear other people being unkind to themselves and saying, is that a kindness to you when you say that? Is that a kindness to you when you think that about yourself? Yeah. Because we, the being, are that little inner child that needs nurturing and loving support so badly from us.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. And some people are energetically ready to accept that. And others, it's still not quite there yet, but that's okay.
Yes.
Every little prompt and every little nudge. You know, I still have clients coming to me who are not quite ready to take self-responsibility of everything that's shown up in their life, and that's okay. You know, it's just opening up a door. Every time you say it, it opens up a door.
Indeed,
and a doorway to their own self empowerment and taking responsibility for their own life, their own reality. But also we need to take responsibility for our own energy.
Yes. Yes.
And let's get back to the some of the health ramifications of that. When you're taking responsibility for your own energy and where you're feeling stuck in your body, hence something's not working, you're sore, you have a dis-ease.
Yes.
When you take responsibility and ask your body what it's about, you really can get to the energetics behind it, because there's always something behind it. Even the seemingly human thing of stubbing a toe or breaking a leg, there's always actually something behind that too.
Yes. And whether you're off balance for some reason, but it's all in the mind.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
And in Access, we say if our mind was working for us, we'd be happy. We'd have everything we wanted. Life would be joyous.
It's the equation, isn't it, of, you know, does your mind or brain I say, because mind and brain for me are different things, does your brain rule you, or do you rule the brain? And if we're ruling the brain, then we're in charge, rather than the brain or the thinking being in charge. And it flips it on the other side, because we're powerful creatures.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
We're powerful beings. We just don't always realise.
No, and yet the thinking mind, or the insane mind, which is trying to protect us and trying to keep us safe all the time, does not allow for that growth.
No.
And this is where the challenge in life is to move into that space of discomfort.
And trust.
And trust. And with Access Consciousness, I found that you can do it with more ease.
Yes.
Sometimes not easy, but with more ease. And that's what we want to create, is joy and ease in our lives.
It's the hardest work that any of us do here in this lifetime, really, isn't it? It's, you know, the work on self and the energy, it's the hardest work, but it's the most satisfying, because it's what changes everything.
It is indeed, yes. All about choice.
It is. It is about choice.
Yeah.
So, Barb, with these beautiful modalities that you offer, how can people work with you with those, and what would you like to, have you got any special offerings for people in those techniques?
Yes, I do. Now, we had a list somewhere, so if we can check that. But I am very flexible and I'm quite mobile.
Okay.
So if someone were to be in an area that's, you know, a little distance from me and could get a group together, I would be very happy to come and share either the modalities or to teach.
Fantastic.
Because I really, really, really want to be teaching and having people help each other.
Yes.
More so.
Okay.
So if you wanted to receive, experience the bars, I really would recommend that you have 3 lots of bars, and it can be at a timeline of your choosing, of course. It doesn't have to be 3 weeks in a row or every fortnight or anything like that. But I'd like to offer 3 sessions of bars for $180, which is an exceptional offer, but I just so want people to experience it.
That's it.
Because one session can change your life.
It can. I agree.
Yes.
I've had them. They're brilliant. Brilliant sessions.
One session of bars for many people has changed their life in that they were going to suicide the next day.
Yeah.
And a session of the bars changed that and stopped that.
Really connected them back.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's powerful. And I think anybody who's been in misalignment with health or with emotional issues, it really helps on the first session of that as well. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And because it's simple to do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's simple to receive.
Okay, fabulous. So a package of 3 access bars sessions for only $180. Brilliant. So I'll have all of these details and the links to contact Barb in the description here. And
now, if you'd like to experience Raindrop Technique, same thing. I like to do things in 3s. Energetically, we work a lot in 3s as well. So a 3-pack of Raindrop Techniques for $290.
Beautiful.
Again, a massive saving for you.
Yes.
But I really want you to experience it.
Beautiful.
And if
people could get some friends together.
Yes, they could get some friends together. Absolutely. Yes. And we're going to make it easy. There's, you know, if you want to, you know, bring a friend or gift a friend, that's quite okay with me.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
So, if you would like to become a bars practitioner, it's a 1-day training, fully certified and recognised, and you're free then to go and charge for bar sessions, give a session, get a session. So in our training, as you're learning to give the bars, you're also receiving energetically from that person and from the energy.
A bit like Reiki, isn't it?
It is
you
indeed.
Give and you get back.
Absolutely. And if you do sign up through this offer for a bars training, I'd like to include the book Being You, Changing the World by Dane here. And it's got all the questions I talked about in it and lots more about access consciousness, really, and making choices.
Brilliant.
Yes. So what else is possible?
Yes.
And how does it get any better than that?
That's it. Oh, that's incredible. And you know, if you are not doing any energetic practices at all, you can still learn bars and begin practicing that. If you are already a practitioner or doing something in the spiritual or energetic field, bars is a great inclusion to what you're already doing as another modality or
absolutely
tool.
Trish. Absolutely, yes. And you know, if time is an issue with bars, it's so flexible. If you've got 5 or 10 minutes with someone, you can make a difference energetically to their life.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Brilliant. So any last words, Barb, on that you want to share with people, like a message for people out there listening who are just feeling out of alignment and feeling like there's something more, but I just can't put my finger on it?
Yes. Oh, so many things I could say, but start asking questions and don't look for the answers. What is this? What else is possible? How does it get me better? What if whatever showed up could be better than even I could imagine? But being in question, shifts you energetically without doing anything else.
Yeah.
And if you can't do anything else, get outside, get out into nature. Just this week, I was reconnect. I was just so out of sorts, and I thought, right, this cannot go on. So I took myself down to the forest. I thought I'll do some forest bathing, and I was rewarded by fireflies in the forest. It was so beautiful. I've only seen them a couple of times in my life, and it was just so special.
Beautiful.
It was nature's way and energetically saying, good on you, Barb.
That's it.
This is what it's about.
Yeah, and you asking the questions as well. What else is possible? What else is possible? And, you know, things show up. It's miracle.
Yes.
It's magic.
They do, and it is magic, and we are magic.
We are.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining me in my home today for this interview.
Thank you, Trish. Just a pleasure. Yeah, just a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. I've got all of Barb's details here for you to connect with Barb, and she's more than happy to talk to you about any of what we've discussed today and all of her work, either book in with her, they can go to your place.
Yes.
She's got a beautiful studio at her place, a lovely healing room, or she'll come to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as it's close. We're not talking another state.
Yeah. Well, if you had enough people, we could do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Particularly with training, I'll travel anywhere for training, so that's fine.
Perfect.
Yeah, do get in touch.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh, thank you so much, and thank you everybody for tuning in today for this episode of Trish Rock TV. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.